Hey guys, and welcome back to the channel. Today we are going to talk about Battle Sisters Premium. I still kind of prefer Susano, but the new support that this deck got in V-Clan Collection number 5, if I'm not mistaken, was very good, so I did want to talk about it today. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe, as it does help the channel, help your boy, and share your thoughts and opinions on the new OTT support in the comments below. Let's go ahead and get into it. Alright, so we're going to start off with the grade 3s. Of course, we have our 4 copies of Fromage Reverse. I'm actually going to zoom in here. But yeah, we got the 4 copies of Fromage Reverse, or the base Fromage. She's really good still because she's one of the few OTT Vanguards that has an on-place draw skill. The other ones like Susano or the Magus ones, or even the Fromage Reverse, have great skills to help you plus, but they don't happen when you place them, they happen in the main phase. This basically means that if you are striding, which most of the time you will be, like assuming you're going second, they didn't stride deny you, you don't get to utilize a lot of the other OTT grade 3 draw skills. Fromage is probably your best on-place Vanguard in the clan right now. We have 2 copies of Reverse. Sadly, couldn't fit more, and I'm still looking for another SP. For those that don't know what she does, you CB1 and discard a card from your hand. You look at the same number of cards on the top of your deck equal to the number of Battle Sister names on the board. And then you can stack them on top or bottom in any order. From there, you can lock any number of units on your board and draw that many cards. So the short and sweet version of this is you CB1 discard, and let's say I have 5 Battle Sisters on board. I look at the top 5. I want to draw 3 of those cards, so I put them on top, and I lock 3 cards to draw. Really good, especially if you're going first, and having the extra 2 grade 3s means that you're less reliant on trying to high roll into the Fromage. It feels really bad when you don't ride Fromage, so having at least a backup ride is really nice. Why she's here. Some lists you will see run Popo instead. I have Popo up on the screen right now. I do not play Popo because I feel like Battle Sisters don't dig as much as the other variants of OTT decks. So I feel like a deck like Susano or even like Witches or Magus can take better advantage of her guard restrict and get there faster than Battle Sisters. I think Battle Sisters excels way better in the early game, really like pressuring out your opponent before they even get to play. So that's why we do not play Popo on this list. We have 4 copies of Goddess of the Sun Amaterasu. She's really good. She is the backbone of OTT. Some people would probably prefer to play pure Battle Sisters, but you're probably gonna have a hard time if you're not hitting the good triggers. She kind of helps you circumvent those bad games where you're not hitting triggers. So we still play 4 of these for the Calico combo. Next, we're gonna get into grade 2s. So first, we play 4 copies of Trifle and 4 copies of Croquette. This has not changed for the longest time for Battle Sister Premium. These cards are just really good at plussing. This one's gonna find a grade 3, so either you want to reveal a Ame to get an early crit, or you want to reveal a grade 3 so that way you can have a good ride target. That's what she's here for. Or if you need to, sometimes there's skills that will stack the top of your deck and it won't be ideal, so you'll use her to kind of try to filter. Sometimes you can find things like heals and other like really cool stuff you can stack on top. And then of course Truffle is a way to just gain card advantage. CB1, look at top 3, you call one of the cards with Battle Sister in their name and you stack the other 2 on top in any order, so you can kind of set up to hit crits or OT or heals or your draws, whatever you need. She's very good, and of course on rear she's a 14k attacker if you looked at your deck, so she hits over the Force deck 13k number, which is why she's relevant. Finally, for the grade 2s, we have 3 copies of Battle Sister Mocha. When she's rode upon, you can Soul Blast 1, and you look at the top 2, you add 1 to hand, and then you can put it, you put the other card on the bottom, so she helps you dig through the deck faster. And she has a really great rearguard skill, where if you have 3 or more units with Battle Sister, and all their Battle Sister names are different, I don't know why I said that weird, she gets plus 5k, and then if you have 4 or more cards, she gets an extra plus 5k. So she's a 19k swinger on rear at almost all times, and she's a 10k shield, assuming you have at least 3 Battle Sisters on board. Really good card. I could not find space for more of her, or a lot of the other stuff I wanted to play, like the grade 2 Ichikishima, or the Macaron, which is the 19k Battle Sister swinger. So I just decided to play this because I wanted to play some decks. That is the grade 2s. Sometimes I wish there was more space for stuff, but when you play the Ame Calico, it usually takes up about 5 to 7 slots, about 5 to 7 slots depending on how you do your accounts, so it can be a little hard to find space for other cards. For the grade 1s, we have 4 copies of Battle Sister Troha. She is your best grade 1 by far. Once per turn, when you place her, I did that wrong. When you place her, you reveal the top card of the deck. If the Battle Sister, you add her to the hand. Really good first ride target, really good late game on rear, early game on rear. She's just good all times of the games. And then of course her rear guard skill is, if you looked at the deck during this turn, she gets plus 5k. So she's a 13k booster, essentially hitting that force deck number that can be sometimes hard for Excel and Protect decks. We have 2 copies of Panaton and 2 copies of Kasada. I like Panaton because sometimes I don't have the soul. I need to do the grade 4 stride Ichikishima and on-place Battle Sister, and then my rear guard skills. It gets to be a lot of Soul Blast after a while. So she's nice, even as like a 1 or 2 of. And then you have the Battle Sister Kasada, which is an 80k booster if you hit a trigger. There's so many ways to stack the deck, so this becomes very, very effective and like making sure opponent can't guard your numbers. These are both really expensive for some reason. I don't understand why, but some OTT players will either prefer to play Kasada because they don't neg off the Panaton, but I really do think that the extra soul you generate is super valuable for you. And then finally, it's that meta Hanali. Of course, if you run into a deck like Ripples, it's not going to be too relevant. They can just kind of loop their, if I'm not mistaken, Thavas to get rid of all your Hanalis. But against like Nightmare Doll and a lot of other matchups, you usually can get away with calling 1 to 2 of these on board, and then most decks, or a good chunk of the decks that do multi-attack, won't be able to get rid of all of them. So just really good card. It's a Protect deck that does 3 swings, 4 if you go into Momo Stride, so having cards like this that slow other decks down is always really helpful. Originally I was not playing 3, but the more I tested, the more I really like the 3 count. This is also why we don't have space for some of the other techs and things that you may see other builds run. We have triggers in the starter. Yeah, I still have my base rarity Lotions. I've been working on high raritying this. It's gonna take a long time. But it doesn't matter what starter you play, there's no skills that need a specific starter, so play whichever one you want. I think the V starter is really nice here because the quick shield helps you maintain Oracle easier. The extra draw, regardless of going first or second, also helps you maintain Oracle easier. We have triggers. Oh, I forgot about this guy. But we'll cover him now. We got Calico. We only play 1 because, again, we're playing so many Hanalis. If you're testing the deck yourself and you don't like playing all the Hanalis, or you want to cut other stuff, you can find more space for Calico. I think it would be nice if we had space for 2 to 3, but 1 is totally fine. Trigger time. We got the OT. Shout out to She Devil Gaming. Feels good to win a giveaway every once in a while. Also Epic channel. We got the Stride fodder crits, 4 of them. We have 3 copies of Battle Sister Muffin. It's a counter charger. It's really good. Boost something by +3, so you can start hitting really good numbers if you place it on the right columns. 2 of the Sentinel crits because you don't want to draw too much, but this is really nice. The extra crits also help you push and try to like get a couple of blowout games every once in a while. Not much else to say there. We got 2 copies of the Draw PG. Just really nice to have. There's a lot of Grand Blue at my locals, so I have to play them. If you find that you don't need them, I also think it's also effective to play 4 of the Sentinel crits. It just really depends on what you're used to fighting a lot. So yeah. And then we got 4 copies of the grade 3 heal. This lineup feels just about right. Some people do play the Keter OT. I don't like the Keter OT in this deck. I do prefer the Keter OT in a deck like Magus or even Witches, I think, because they have grade 3s on rear, so you really get a lot out of those extra drives. But in this deck, I'd rather just put the power on 2 units and go to town with that, especially since I'm not playing Popo or Silent Tom in this build. Having that double OT trigger is just really effective for closing out games, especially when your opponent gets F4 and you can't seem to finish them off. Next, we're going to talk about the Stride deck. There's not much else to say here, especially about this first one. We got the 4 copies of Stillwater Festival Deity Ichikishima. She's just good. She is the backbone of the deck. She draws, she guard restricts. We love her. Not much else to say there. We got 2 copies of Wakahirame. This is the stack the OT card. This almost never comes up, so when I saw the heightened prices when everything spiked, it was a little confusing. Definitely a lot of copium. This card is still very good. It's just you almost never go into this because most of the time you're gonna want to go into your other strides. She's nice to have just in case. For 2 copies of the Happiness Gathering Dragon King, I just like to call him Nanda Dragon King. Really good first stride as he allows you to plus. His skill is you reveal, you flip up a card in your G zone. It does not have to be him. And then you reveal cards off the top of your deck equal to the number of face-up cards in the G zone plus 2. So he's going to be revealing 3 cards on the first stride. Any triggers, you'll activate and add to hand, which gives you shield value, helps you maintain Oracle. Everything else that's like normal unit will be called to board. You can find Calicos and just like really a lot of other really high value cards off of this. He wins a lot of games. If you reveal Ame off of this, you call the Amaterasu, and then you proc her bind skill. So there's just a lot of cheeky plays you can do with this. I prefer him over the Battle Sister Stride, as I don't really think she does much. I think he just no CB needed for him, and he just does so much. We got 2 copies of Momo Battle Sister. Because you have your base fromage that draws you 2 on place, it's actually easier to go for Momo. You kind of have to build your deck around Momo because she does force you to discard 3, but at the same time there's a lot of cards that need you to have Oracle to get their skills active, so it can be kind of hard to shoehorn Momo into some OTT strategies. I think she works very well here, especially since, you know, original fromage, the new grade 2 helps you draw cards. So it's a little bit easier to maintain hand in this deck, so we play 2 Momo. Really good against Protect decks. EP too, because their grade 3s have a bunch of shield value and get past the Amaterasu guard restrict, so you're gonna want to go Momo those games to try to close it out. And just beat them out through sheer numbers. 100k Momo is not an easy thing to guard, even for like a DP player or Grand Blue player. We play 1 Seabreeze. If they try to stride deny you, you still just go into your grade 3 turn and you set up for your turn, your second stride where you go Ichikishima and go to town, assuming that you can live your opponent's first stride. Seabreeze is really nice. Sometimes it comes up, sometimes it doesn't. And then we have the G Guardians. We play 5. 2 of the Amaterasu G Guardian. Just really nice. Gives you soul, 25k guard, big numbers. 2 of the Battle Sister one. 2 is more than enough. It's not like you're gonna have like 5 or 6 heals in hand, so the 2-2 split seems to be working really well for me. It's what I've been doing for probably like the last like half a year or so. And then you can change this for Dismal. Right now I'm testing the Octagonal Magus. I do not think this card is good, and it requires you to have 2 heals and or a very small deck count to make this like easy to hit. I think that, especially again, you're not playing Tom or you're not playing Popo, so the only thing you really want to protect on the rear guard is potentially a Triffle or the occasional Amaterasu on rear, because you still need to reveal cards. Maybe you're digging for something. You can also play Dismal. Dismal's currently in my Regalia deck, so that's what it is. I've been testing this. It's been okay. But that's your G-Zone. Not much else to say there. And of course, make sure you have tons of Protect 1. I never go Protect 2 in this deck. Protect 1 just works. It adds an extra card in your hand for the Oracle cost, which is having 5 cards in hand. So it's a pretty good time. Anyways, guys, that is the deck profile. Not much else to say. Just make sure you guys take care of yourself, and peace out.